We all have this incredibly powerful device sitting in our pockets. But let's ask a serious question. Are we in control of it, or is it in control of us? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how you can transform your smartphone from a source of endless distraction into a true tool for thinking. It all really starts with this classic idea from Steve Jobs. The concept is pretty simple, but profound. A tool shouldn't replace what we do, it should amplify it. Think about it. A bicycle makes a human ridiculously more efficient at moving around. Well, a computer, and yeah, your phone, should do the exact same thing for your thinking. It's supposed to extend your capabilities, not drain them. But hey, let's be totally honest with ourselves for a second. When you pick up your phone, does it really feel like you're hopping on a bike, ready to go explore new ideas? Or is it a little more like pulling the lever on a slot machine, just hoping for that quick little hit of dopamine from a new notification? This right here, this is the core conflict we all have to deal with. So you've got these two very different paths your phone can go down. On one side, you have the bicycle for the mind. This is the phone that actively makes you smarter. It's a tool for creating things. But on the other side, you have the slot machine, and all that does is shatter your attention into a million pieces and turn you into a passive consumer. It's really worth asking yourself, which path is my phone leading me down right now? So if your phone feels a lot more like a slot machine, I want you to know something really important. You're not alone, and frankly, it's not an accident. These things are literally engineered to capture and hold our attention. So let's diagnose exactly how they pull it off. See, it all comes down to a very specific design playbook. Those super bright, candy-like colors on app icons, they're scientifically chosen to trigger a little dopamine hit in your brain. The constant notifications, they create this completely false sense of urgency. And those endless scrolling feeds, the infinity pools, they are built from the ground up to hijack our attention for as long as possible. We're not just fighting our own bad habits, we're fighting a system that's designed to keep us hooked. Okay, so that's the problem. How in the world do we fight back? We start with phase one, which is all about taming the machine. Now, the goal here isn't to get rid of your phone entirely. Nope. The goal is to add intentional friction. We need to make it just a little bit harder to get distracted and a whole lot easier to actually think. Here are 3 incredibly powerful steps you can take, like today, right now. First, adopt what's called the nuclear notification policy. The rule is super simple. Turn off every single notification that doesn't come from another human being. If a machine is pinging you, it's in control, not you. Second, go grayscale. You can find this in your phone's accessibility settings, and boom, your screen instantly becomes way less stimulating. And third, hide the infinity pools. Just move those social media and news apps off your home screen and bury them in a folder. That tiny bit of extra effort makes a gigantic difference. All right, so that brings us to phase 2. Now that we've cleared out the negative stuff, we can start adding in the positive. This is where we stop playing defense against distraction and start playing offense with our attention. This is where we turn the phone into a true cognitive tool. What this means is reframing your phone's apps around your actual goals. For example, if you want to improve your memory, you should use spaced learning apps like Anki. Want to boost your creativity? Get a super simple idea capture app like Obsidian, or just use your phone's voice memos. For focus, lean into your phone's deep work modes. And for learning, you can curate high-quality things to read with apps like Pocket or Libby. Suddenly, your phone becomes this custom-built toolkit for your brain. But look, having the right tools is only half the battle, right? Phase 3 is where the real magic happens. It's about forming entirely new habits. We need to fundamentally change our relationship with this device and intentionally integrate this new bicycle into our daily lives. Here's a simple but incredibly powerful rule you can try. Only use your phone while you're standing up or walking. Now, why does this work? Well, think about it. Sitting down with your phone encourages passive consumption, just endless scrolling. But standing or walking, that forces you to be intentional. It physically disconnects you from the mindless scroll and lines up the device with active thinking, like listening to a lecture or dictating new ideas. Another key habit is to actually schedule your thinking. Don't just randomly absorb information all day. Create specific input windows in your schedule. This is your dedicated time for reading or listening. And just as important, you have to create output windows. Scheduled time to actually process what you've learned by writing, planning, or connecting ideas. This whole idea comes down to one crucial principle: no input without output. Your mind doesn't grow by just absorbing more and more information. It grows by wrestling with it, processing it, and making it your own. If you take something in, you have to produce something from it, even if that's just a few sentences jotted down in a notes app. So here's a really concrete way to practice that. It's called the compression practice. After you read an article or watch a video, force yourself to compress it. First, squeeze it down into 3 sentences. Then, distill that into one essential sentence. And finally, can you reduce it to a single keyword? The test is simple. If you can't compress it, you haven't really understood it. This practice literally turns your phone from a machine for consuming content into a machine for creating meaning. So where does all of this lead? Well, it leads to the final, powerful reframe, seeing your phone as an amplifier for your mind. This isn't just about digital minimalism for the sake of it, it's about transforming this tool into a powerful extension of your own intellect. The ultimate goal here is to completely redefine your phone's role in your life. Imagine shifting your usage from, 90% passive scrolling to a breakdown that looks more like this: 40% creation, 30% active learning, and 20% intentional connection with people who actually matter to you. Now, that is a device that is truly serving you. Because ultimately, a true bicycle for the mind does all these things. It extends your memory with powerful tools. It sharpens your reasoning by helping you organize your thoughts. It encourages synthesis, which is just a fancy word for connecting different ideas. It reduces the mental noise from the outside world. And maybe most importantly, it demands your attention every single time you pick it up. Which brings us to the final, most critical question. How do you make this change stick? What's one simple action you can take that reinforces this new philosophy every single time you reach for your phone? Consider this one tiny change. Go into your phone settings and change your lock screen text to ask one simple question. What am I trying to understand right now? Every single unlock becomes an act of awareness. It forces you to state your intention. It's a constant, gentle reminder that this device is a tool, it's a bicycle for your mind, and you are the one who decides where it's going.